Welcome back, guys. I am the Downward Doug. Thanks for joining me once again. This is 5 Minute Friday, and today we are covering the tricky Trikonasana, something that's very hard to get hold of in a class. It's got a lot of elements to it, so we're going to break those all down, and as the name suggests, we're going to do that all in 5 minutes. So get 2 blocks, or a block, you'll probably just need one, and meet me on the mat for 5 Minute Friday. All right, let's get started. So, starting the timer, we're going to come to the top of the mat once again. We arrive here, we connect with the ground underneath us, we press down to those legs. This time we're going to bring that right knee up, step it all the way out, turn all the toes to face the long side of the mat. Setting up for almost a wide-legged forward fold. In my opinion, start a little bit shorter rather than longer because it'll be much easier to manage. Bring the arms up to your sides. Now from here, quite often when we do the wide-legged forward fold, we pigeon-toe the feet anyway, but from here, I'm going to rotate the left toes to face straight left, and I'm going to take the right foot and put it at an angle, 45, very similar to how we set up for your your extended side angle. So from here, as I rotate that foot on the right, I want the hip to follow suit, to push forward, like we do in Warrior 1. This leg stays nice and strong. All right, I look down, I check for that heel to arch alignment in the legs. That's going to help keep everything structured and integral from the ground up. Press down through both legs, squeeze the legs towards one another. Keep this hip rolling in. All right, we're not looking for a nice open hip here. Roll that hip in. Arms come up, shoulders nice and relaxed. Tuck that tailbone underneath. All right, and from here, we start to surf the body weight forward. Now, what often starts to happen is we think we need to go down there, so we start to collapse down here. Now, this is a version of the pose. As you can see, it doesn't look particularly pretty. For me, I want to open up that stance a little bit more. Like I said, you can go shorter or longer as you need. From here, instead of just thinking about surfing forward, I'm thinking about 2 options. Well, 2 different things. I'm pulling this left hip back in space. That is, by virtue of the fact of its movement, pushing my torso this way. If I do the 2 things together and I keep thinking about reaching instead of going down, and again, just like extended side angle, we want the chest lifted at all times. So from here, I surf the weight forward as I'm bringing this left hip back into its joint, bringing the femur back into the hip joint. I keep surfing forward, and then I just rotate very gently round. Let the arm dangle where it is. You can look up at the right hand, but quite often it's nice just to relax the neck. And take note of where this left hand is. Be aware that if you want to go deeper, quite often it's at the expense of this lovely long side body. So as I go deeper here, you can see I'm crunching through that side body. So instead, I want to stay nice and tall. To do that, I can press in to that left shin with my left hand, or this is where these come in. I should have put it much closer. That's where this block comes in beautifully. So here, as I surf forward, I rotate around, I can find that block, I can give myself some height through that torso. I keep pulling that left leg back in space, keep extending the crown of my head forward, and I keep that chest nice and proud. I use my chest as a barometer. If I start leaning forward, I've probably gone too deep. Don't think about this as the depth pose for the hamstring. Think about a long side body and continue leaning back into space. You can then start to move this block into different positions as you need. Keep pulling that hip back. Now you can start to feel the hamstring opening up. Press actively through both legs. Keep both side bodies long, this one and this one. If you're really strong, you can start to reach both ends over. That'll be a lot of hard work. Bring it back into space. When you've had enough, right hand to your hip, rebend this leg. You can hop your way forward. Watch out for that block. So again, lots of aspects here. The most important part really is keeping this side body nice and long. And to do that, bring this hip back, stay up higher than you want to be. So many people think about grabbing this toe, which you can do, but you can see this changes the whole shape of this position. Really be pulling that hip back in space, lengthening the crown of the head forward, so they're pulling in 2 different directions, getting that long side body on the right and the left. Make sure you do the other side, give it a good practice, and try keep in mind these positions the next time you're in class. I hope that's been helpful. If it has, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and make sure you comment below for the next position you would like to see in 5 Minute Friday. Thanks for joining me. I'm the Downward Dog. I almost forgot. You've been awesome. We'll see you next week.